The more Pynchon I read, the less I understand why anyone gives a shit about Pynchon. Unfunny, unoriginal, emotionally void, completely lacking in mystery, suspense, or wonder. Just a bunch of wacky characters talking wacky for 400 pages. Like the worst of Tarantino, minus the violence and sense of danger. Didn't really finish the book. I was done torturing myself by the halfway point, titled What Even? This was absolutely nuts. This was a book smoking weed about weed. And 70s detectives. I'm so confused. So much unnecessary action and plot points. I can't do it. There are very few books that I abandon, but this one wore me down. I'd rather read the pharmaceutical insert for my blood pressure medication than go back to this. I suppose if I were a 20-year-old self-medicating slacker with poor taste in friends, I'd give it another go. But thankfully I have options. At least I know I can skip the film and save $10 too. Someone got my grandma high and then wrote this book full of stuff she said. I'd rather just hang out with my grandma. Self-indulgence, unreadable. And there's also this article from the New Yorker I found, or from the New York magazine, and I'll just read some few passages from it. This is probably going to make me sound yet again like Neanderthal shouting from the back of the classroom. It might even destroy my career and end a few friendships and scandalize my children and cast shame upon my ancestors, but I have something to confess. After years of deceiving myself and others, felonious head nods and grad seminars, forced cocktail party chuckles, I have decided it's time to stop living a literary critical lie. There is no easy way to say this, so here it is. I hate Thomas Pynchon. I find him tedious, shallow, monotonous, flippant, self-satisfied, and screamingly unfunny. I hate his aesthetic from floor to ceiling. The relentless patter of his borscht belt gags, his periodically overstuffed plots, his ham-fisted verbs, scowling, growling, glaring, leering, lurching, and adjectives, lurid, louche, lecherous, the tumbling micro-rhythms of his sentences, the galloping macro-rhythms of his larger narratives. I hate the discount paranoia he slathers over everything with an industrial-sized trowel. I hate the cardboard cutouts he tries to pass off as human characters, and I hate, maybe most of all, his characters with stupid names. I'm sorry, Slothrop. I'm sorry, Tyrone Slothrop. I'm sorry, Pirate. I even hate his name, which makes him sound like some kind of 29th century sci-fi lobster. I hate the fake song lyrics he invents for his characters to sing, and the fake restaurants, Man of La Mancha, he invents for them to eat at, and the stupid acronyms he invents for them to pledge their lives to. Dude, those things, I love those things about him. Some critics have detected a new human warmth and inherent vice, but that's only by contrast. That the way a walk-in refrigerator feels warm when you've just spent a month in a walk-in freezer. It's not an ideal way to wrap up a career. Pynchon, now in his 70s, I think this review is before he wrote Bleeding Edge, is very obviously not catering to me. Still, it would be exciting to see such prodigious talent find his way onto some new artistic path. One, maybe, open to finding meaning in pauses and silence and understatement, rather than the same endless manic invention. Otherwise, one of the most unique careers in American literary history is going to end by endlessly repeating itself. And as Doc might put it, bummer. That was a very beautiful review.